Let's move on now to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and our 2023 NFL Draft review. But before we get into that, Ryan and I, we have a goal of getting to 2,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season. So if you have not already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified when we create new content. We have a bunch of material scheduled and planned over these next couple of months of training camp, preseason, just post-draft reviews, team predictions coming up. So be sure to ring that bell, as I said, so you can see when Tampa Bay Buccaneers material comes out, other NFC South material comes out, or just NFL material in general, so you can stay up to date on all of the current information. And Ryan, with that being said, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
This draft, to me, I think a lot of these drafts here for teams, you can kind of feel a theme, so to say. And like Panthers, for example, just did that video, should be coming out around the same time here as the Buccaneers video. So if you haven't seen that one yet, check it out after this video. But theirs is like face of the franchise, try and get him a weapon. Let's get him an offensive lineman to protect him. Like that's literally like that. Yeah. That's in that playbook. When I look at the Buccaneers, and I look at these picks, this is the playbook of we are rebuilding. We don't know who our quarterback is. We only have really one running back that I can think of off the top of my head, Rachaad White. I don't think they've signed Leonard Fournette yet.
No, they actually, I think, released Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, so he's not coming back. So, and I look a lot of picks in the trenches or in the front seven on the defensive side of the ball, and good picks. But this is one is going to be like we like this. We feel like we can build around this player, and so he's going to fit our scheme that we're going to want to build. Maybe not the most athletic, but he fits our scheme moving forward. Maybe we can build around and develop all these pieces here.
Yeah, no, and one of the things that really stuck out to me in this draft that you can see on our list over here, all of these players I feel like were taken like right where they were supposed to be taken. With the exception of Yaya Diaby, I felt like he was more of a fourth rounder, but some people were higher on him than me, and like they took him in the middle of the third round.
I could see that there because their next pick wasn't until 70 picks later.
Yeah,
I could see them being like, if we want to get an edge rusher now, it's like this is going to be the guy.
Yeah, and he's really athletic. He's just raw, needs help with his hand placement and developing more pass rush moves. But again, he's a really good athlete, so like I don't really fault them for that. But again, it's just like they drafted good players at positions of need, and like they've filled some holes. The thing about this draft is like there's nothing that really like jumps out at me with what they did. And I think if you look at their depth chart now too, like it filled in a lot of holes. Like Calijah Cancey comes in and fills in on that defensive line. Cody Mauch gets that right guard spot that they just traded Shaq Mason away for.
Yeah.
And then like Payne Durham and Cade Otton are now their tight end duo. And then like Servassier Dennis is kind of a Devin White speedy linebacker type. And so I like what they did there. And I just think there was nothing that really gave you that, wow, that's a great pick factor.
Well, but at the same time, then it's not like it's like, oh, that's a horrible pick. Like I like all these
exactly.
Picks. These were just very stock picks. And so it wasn't a sexy draft, but these are the types of drafts that when you see like that when they're playoff contenders winning divisions, you'll go back and look at these names and like they needed some development, but there's good value at each pick. And so not the sexiest of the drafts, in my opinion, this year. But to be fair, though, I think a lot of teams had good to really good drafts, and just with where the Buccaneers are at, kind of in their organization. I think that it's going to be tough it's tough for them to be on the top tier of drafts taken, just because I think a lot of teams hit some dingers in this draft here. So, but the one to me, I would say like if we had to pick through all this, I am excited about Cody Mauch. I like Cody Mauch. The Falcons. I kind of wish the Falcons traded up and got Matthew Bergeron. I really like that pick also, but if they would have gone up and got Cody Mauch, I would have really, really liked the pick. I absolutely trust Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith and the entire Atlanta organization for going that way. But Here, I think the Bucs got a staple at that right guard position. I think he's going to come in and just be an absolute mauler. And so not looking forward to facing up against him over the next couple of years as he improves.
Yeah, no, definitely. So one pick that I will highlight, round 6, pick 196. Excuse me. Jose Ramirez was a really productive edge rusher. Slightly undersized. I think he's like 240. But I think he led the FBS in sacks or pressures in 2022. So that's a nice grab there. He did play at Eastern Michigan, so not quite the same talent level as, like, say, SEC. So let's move into our grades here. And I gave them a B. You gave them a B minus. And my reasoning is, for me, B is like average, right? Like, you didn't, in what you said, you didn't hit any dingers, but you didn't also bunt or strike out, right?
Yeah.
And like, for me, I think they got good players at positions of need, and that's just average. Like, that's So
no. And I would say that's fair. When I was going through my grading scale, I tried to then also include kind of like grade against the curve, and so like I only gave out 1 A+ because I think there's only one number 1 draft of all the 32 teams, and as I said, there were a lot of teams that had B+, A- like drafts, and in my opinion, and not only the Bucs had a bad draft, but in comparison to kind of what they brought in, not too many sexy picks, not too many picks that are going to win them games this year, but this is going to be a draft class that we come back to, I believe, if they all pan out, a couple years from now, when they have their franchise quarterback, when they're able to then kind of get a good running back tandem going with Rashad White. Right now they have Chase Edmonds as their backup, and I just don't feel like that's – I mean, he's a veteran running back that will be able to take some snaps for you. But outside of that, then also receiver, they're low on receiver right now. I mean, they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and they do have Russell Gage also, but the depth chart is very thin on the receiver side as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they have just as many tight ends as receivers currently on their depth chart here, according to Ourlad. So that's where it's just Barry Palmer. So never mind. Anyways, just it was a good draft, but compared to the other 32 teams, I would say it was kind of just a below average haul in. Isn't it necessarily the Bucs' fault? I still think they had some good value picks, but just is what it is.
Yeah. But I still think so. I think the Bucs going into 2023, they're in a pseudo rebuild. I think they're trying to build this team up and then maybe try to grab a quarterback in next year's class where they'll have a better opportunity to maybe grab one than at pick 19. So I think that is what is intriguing, is how good can this team be without having a star quarterback, and then maybe they can go and get that in next year's class. So
yeah, it will be interesting because right now on their depth chart they got Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask they drafted 2 years ago in the second round, but I mean no one really knows what he has. And then Baker Mayfield, we kind of know what he has. Not kind of, we do know what he has, and I mean he can win them some games and he can be their leader. But I think this year they might really try and see what Kyle Trask has, and can he be the guy, or like what you said, do we need to put Baker Mayfield in and pick first overall next year?
Yeah, exactly. So, but let's go ahead. Let's wrap up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft recap there. Let us know down below on what you guys think of the Buccaneers 2023 NFL draft. Do you like the picks? Do you think we're wrong? Do you think we're right? Let us know down below, and go ahead and like and subscribe and smash that bell, and we will see you guys next time.